gamers, I brought all 4 NASCAR series to 4 different tracks in NASCAR 25, and let's compare all the lap times and see how they stack up. Alright gamers, we're starting off with Daytona. We're in the ARCA car here. Then we go to Truck, then O'Reilly, then Cup. On all of the ARCA car runs, I did them all back to back when I was recording. I had the difficulty lower because I was working on another video, so that's why the goal time is way off. The other ones, as we go on to the trucks here, the other ones are all at the same difficulty. I think I had it set on 95 just to keep it consistent. And these are also all on neutral setups. I did not touch any of the setups for any car just to keep it all consistent. They're all done with me with a controller, and I basically did these runs all at the same time, so they're as consistent as I can do. So now we're going into the O'Reilly car here, and at the end of each of these sections, I'll have chapters below talking about the actual lap times themselves, because there's a couple weird ones here, like this. For example, this O'Reilly car is slow on super speedways, I guess with the restrictor plate or whatever you call it. Or just the package, the horsepower package, they're running slow. They're like 172-ish. Oh, in the Cup car, we're in the mid-180s here, so it's a big jump. But yeah, as expected, the Cup car is going to be fastest here. But spoiler alert, it might not always be the fastest somehow, and we're going to have to talk about that more later. So here are the results. ARCA and Truck got about the same time. O'Reilly was much slower, I'm not sure if with the restrictor plate, and Cup was the fastest, 48.8. Okay, now we're on Charlotte, back in the ARCA car. Don't pay attention to the goal time in any of the ARCA ones, because when I was doing it, I had the difficulty down for another challenge video I was doing. Although the lap times were actually fairly similar here. Cup was still the fastest, but the rest of these cars were all much closer than I expected. With the ARCA car, for some reason, it feels a lot more like twitchy to me. It doesn't feel as smooth or as planted as the other the cars or the trucks. I'm not sure if that's everybody's experience, but the ARCA car always felt very twitchy to me. The trucks, I'm always loving the trucks. They just have a soft spot in my heart, and I like the sound of them. Even though they sound a little weird, I guess, I still like them. I like the styling. I had fun playing through the career mode with the trucks, so I'm always going to like them. I'm in the Corey Haim car here. And yeah, I just love driving these things. They're a lot of fun. They feel very stable to me. I guess that's just the neutral setup that all these cars have. I almost get into the wall, and I have a pretty weird corner cut there, but that ended up being my fastest lap, so that's what we're using. Off to the O'Reilly cars now. Nothing too crazy to say about these. Felt pretty normal. I also still think they drive pretty decent. The trucks and the O'Reilly cars feel like they drive the most stable to me. ARCA feels a little bit twitchy-ish, and then Cup just has the most power and everything, so it's a little more difficult to control, especially on short tracks. But yeah, this is my lap on the O'Reilly car here. I got about the same lap time every time I did this. I got a couple different 32.0s, so that's what we're taking. And here we are in the Cup car in the Carson Hocevar scheme, because I know he's pretty popular nowadays, so I figured we'll just run it for this video. And yeah, it wasn't too hard to get a good lap time on the Cup car either. This is going to be the fastest lap time. And yeah, not too much to say. It's a little bit hard to get down to the apron or to the white line in 3 and 4. I feel like I'm kind of late apexing the exit. I don't know if that's the fastest way, but that's what I was doing. And we got a 31.2. Okay, so very interesting here. Almost everybody had the same lap time except Cup. I didn't expect them all to be that close, but pretty interesting, honestly. Alright, next up we're at Martinsville here in the ARCA car, the Cletus car. I actually still really like Martinsville. I think it's a fun little short track. I've made a bunch of videos on it already with the second gear and the wall riding and stuff. I just think it's pretty fun to do, so I had to include it. And every series goes to it. I forgot to mention that I have to pick tracks that every series actually goes to. So yeah, we're in the trucks now. I feel like I almost blew through the corner in 1 and 2, but I was doing other laps other than this, and this was still my fastest lap, so I'm not exactly sure if it's just the neutral setup plowing a little bit in the corner. But I feel like I still got a decent run with that truck. This track was another one where a lot of the lap times were very similar. Cup was still the fastest, but everybody else was pretty close, which, I mean, I guess is surprising, considering it's a short track and there's a lot of acceleration and braking and handling happening. But all the other 3 series were pretty close together. We'll see at the end. Lap time's not too far apart. I had trouble with exits on the O'Reilly car. I was sliding a little bit. Same thing with the Cup car, but that's to be expected when I'm kind of just mashing the gas. I'm on controller here, so I don't have the best throttle control. No pun intended. But, yeah, decent laps on all of them. I made sure I was restarting practice or just going to the garage and coming back out to refresh the tires. And, yeah, let's look at the lap times. So, like I said, ARCA was a little slower. Truck and O'Reilly almost identical, and Cup a little bit faster. To be expected for the most part. I wouldn't have expected Truck and O'Reilly to be so close, but that's how it turned out. Okay, last but certainly not least, Phoenix. We're here in the ARCA car. This one, for some reason, I didn't have too much trouble with the laps here. I was getting them all pretty quickly, but somehow Cup is not the fastest. And I even had, so remember, don't mind ARCA goal time. I had them all way too high for ARCA, but I turned the difficulty up to 95 AI difficulty for the other 3 series, and the goal times for all of them basically reflect the lap times that I got, and Cup did not have even the lowest goal time. So I don't know how the Cup cars are not as fast through here. I know in real life they changed the horsepower package for 2026. I'm not sure in 2025 if they were running less horsepower than some of the lower series somehow to get different racing. But yeah, Truck and the O'Reilly series were both faster than Cup in this. Spoiler alert. We get a 28.0, which we will also get, I think, on this O'Reilly car. And then Cup, we could not get a 28.0. With a custom setup and stuff, sure, but I'm doing neutral setups on all these to keep everything the same. And even look at the goal time here. It's 28.7 on this O'Reilly car. And we're going to beat it, of course. But when we switch to the Cup car, the goal is even higher than 28.7. So the game's goal is even higher. So, let's see. We got another 28.0. And yeah, 29.2 is the goal. And this is exact same difficulty. I recorded these basically back to back. I don't know why, if it's the horsepower package or something weird that they did at Phoenix in 2025. I know this year I did a video on this track, and people told me that they upped the horsepower this year, or the package is different, the whole car package. But I'm not sure. I didn't think it was going to be slower than Truck and O'Reilly, so that is pretty interesting. Let's look at the results. And yes, somehow Cup is slower than 2 out of the 3 other series. Not sure. Hopefully you guys can tell me more in the comments. I learn a lot from you guys in the comments. And yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to do the best that I could with all my laps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.